This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
It's Friday, July 11th, 2025, and here are today's stories. Indonesia is rolling out one of the most ambitious meal programs in its history. But can the government overcome logistics and criticism to make it work? In Arizona, a new museum exhibit is shining a light on the culture and art of the Hopi tribe. UNN Field Messenger Beverly takes us inside the Verde Valley Archaeology Center for a closer look. Plus, the real story behind skin bleaching, why so many people try it, what risks it carries, and how it affects beauty standards around the world. Meanwhile, farmers in South Australia are running out of hay and time. A severe shortage is pushing livestock operations to the brink, why the crisis could affect more than just local ranchers. From drought to innovation, Field Messenger Wayne shows us how one farm is using cutting-edge water tech to grow hemp in tough conditions. Could this be a model for the future? And finally, pickleball is having a moment. The fast-growing sport is winning fans of all ages. Field Messenger Candace joins a game to show why people can't stop paddling.
Indonesia has launched a free meal program to address malnutrition and support underserved communities. By 2019, it aims to provide nutritious meals to almost 83 million people, starting with school children and pregnant women. While ambitious, the program faces challenges like logistics, budget limits, and expert feedback.
Why is this so important? Well, studies show Indonesian children face what's called a triple burden of malnutrition. This includes undernutrition, like stunting and wasting, overnutrition, such as being overweight or obese, and micronutrient deficiencies, not getting enough essential vitamins and minerals. As living conditions improve, undernutrition has decreased, but overnutrition is becoming a growing issue. Children may be eating enough, but they're not eating right. The numbers paint a clear picture. According to the 2023 Indonesian Health Survey, nearly 1 in 5 primary school children, which is about 19.7%, are overweight or obese, almost double the 11% who are underweight. Stunting and issues like anemia are also more common than underweight cases. These challenges highlight how improving what children eat can make a huge difference.
Across Indonesia, a daily surprise now awaits school children as they open their new lunchboxes to find out what's on the menu today.
Today we are eating chicken, rice, banana and vegetables. Usually I have chicken nuggets for breakfast.
This week, Indonesia launches its multi-billion-dollar program to provide free daily meals for children, pregnant women and new mothers around the country.
This is only the first stage in implementing the free meal program. From January to March, the government aims to reach at least 3 million women and children and 15 million by the end of this year.
The free nutritious meal program was the centerpiece of President Prabowo Subianto's election campaign. It's estimated it will cost more than $4 billion in the first year. The government has allocated a budget of 62 cents per meal.
It will be difficult if this program continues to be run with a national budget because every year the target beneficiaries increase.
The government has opened 190 kitchens in 26 provinces, including some run by military bases.
The aim of this program is to combat the prevalence of stunting in Indonesia, but also we want to empower local economy. So all the ingredients that are included in the food that the students and the mothers receive are sourced from local sources.
More than 20% of Indonesian children are stunted, which means their growth and development are impaired from poor nutrition, illness, and other factors.
However, since its launch in January, the free lunch program is already struggling with funding and management issues. Feeding millions of children daily means cutting spending on other priorities, like education, health, and infrastructure. And the government just doesn't have the money or capacity to handle it. Critics say the government should focus on feeding children from poor families instead of providing meals for all children, many of whom don't need or value them. To tackle stunting effectively, efforts should focus on expectant moms and children under 5, especially in areas like Java, North Sumatra, and East Nusa Tenggara, where stunting is most common. The program has also faced some serious safety concerns. Since its rollout, there have been at least 10 cases of mass food poisoning linked to the free meals, affecting more than 1,000 students across various regions.
Food poisoning still haunts free meal program despite promise of improvements. Food poisoning incidents continue to plague President Prabowo Subianto's free meal program, despite government promises to tighten food safety after hundreds of children fell ill, sparking widespread outrage. Since the free meal program was launched in January, there have been at least 10 reported cases of mass food poisoning linked to it, impacting more than 1,000 students across various regions. On April 28, head of the National Nutrition Agency, Ladan Hindayana, pledged to strengthen food safety measures across more than 1,000 kitchens involved in preparing meals for the free nutritious meals program. President Prabowo has also faced criticism after downplaying concerns over food safety issues related to the free meal program.
The cost of the program hasn't made things easier. The Global Child Nutrition Foundation says Indonesia's free meals program might be the second most expensive in the world, just behind the U.S., which spent $29.4 billion on school meals in 2023. France takes third place, spending a little more than $10 billion. To cover the high costs, the government asked wealthy business owners for help, accepted funding from China, and made $19 billion in budget cuts. These cuts, which also fund other programs, sparked controversy. Ministries like education saw budgets cut in half, forcing staff to cut back on basics like air conditioning and printers. University students were outraged by canceled scholarships and disrupted classes. In February 2025, students protested the free meal program, demanding free education instead. The National Nutrition Agency says one of the biggest challenges for the program is keeping up with demand for local foods like eggs, chicken, fish, veggies, and fruit. Milk demand in particular is expected to surpass supply soon, with plans in place to import up to 1.5 million dairy cows from countries like Australia, New Zealand, and the U.S. This could potentially triple the current herd. For now, the food supply is stable, but increasing local production will be key moving forward.
Thousands of university students take to the streets across Indonesia, decrying the budget efficiency policies of the country's president, Prabowo Subianto, the 72-year-old former general who assumed the elected office just 5 months ago.
This policy has significantly impacted the livelihoods of civil society and also key human rights and law enforcement institutions.
Prabowo's budget efficiency policy aims to cut funding to various government institutions in the name of mitigating what it sees as wasteful government spending. Among the impacted sectors are education, health, and natural disaster prevention. Opponents argue that it will cut funding for scholarships, lay off government contractual workers, and discontinue key welfare programs for the poor. The budget cuts were justified as a way to fund a free meal program, the hallmark of Prabowo's presidential campaign. The program aims to combat malnutrition by providing daily nutritious meals to children and pregnant women, but critics call it wasteful and inefficient. pointing out its exorbitant budget and the simultaneous cuts to primary and secondary education. Analysts warn the cuts will have sweeping effects across society.
Budget cuts are also applied to different ministries and agencies. There could be a massive layoff in the future, which means that some parents would actually lose their jobs, while at the same time their children lose their scholarship.
Indonesia's free school lunch program has its heart in the right place, but the road ahead is bumpy. Balancing funding, safety, and priorities will be a huge challenge if it's going to deliver on its ambitious goals.
The Verde Valley Archaeology Center in Arizona has an exhibition about the Hopi tribe. It offers a look into their culture, traditions, and art. UNN Field Messenger Beverly talks with the museum's executive director.
Hello, this is Field Messenger Beverly for United Network News. And today I visited the Verde Valley Archaeology Center, which is an educational center for the indigenous natives of the central Arizona area, which were the Hopi Indians. And I had the pleasure of meeting with Monica Buckle, who is the executive director, and will tell us about the museum.
So our museum, as I mentioned, is an archaeology museum. So we're stewards to over 80,000 ancestral Hopi artifacts, remnants, and textiles. The title of the exhibit is One Canyon, Three Worlds Inside the Grand Canyon National Park Collections. We have objects that have never been on public view, and we have immense gratitude for the staff at the National Park for loaning us and entrusting us with their priceless cultural items. In this case, we start off with the ancestral Hopi period, and we have objects here. These split twig figurines are renowned in the archaeological community and are only specific to northern Arizona. These represent items that were left for ceremonial offering at specific sites and shrines within the Grand Canyon. So in this exhibit case, we have on display objects from ancestral Hopi that lived in and throughout the Grand Canyon region. If you come closer with the camera, you can see the holes at the bottom of the vessel that was used to strain items.
Oh, yeah. I'm Field Messenger Beverly reporting for United Network News.
Skin bleaching is one of those beauty trends that sparks a lot of curiosity and even more debate. People turn to it for all sorts of reasons, whether it's to achieve a lighter complexion or to address skin conditions like hyperpigmentation. It might seem like a quick fix, but the effects both on your body and society are definitely worth a second thought.
Also called skin lightening or whitening, skin bleaching has become a global phenomenon. The process involves using chemicals to lighten skin by reducing melanin levels. It's a booming business today. This practice actually has ancient roots, dating all the way back to Egypt around 4000 BC, according to a study in the British Journal of Dermatology. Thanks to the internet, skin bleaching has only grown, spreading ideals of lighter skin, promoting products, and making them easier than ever to buy.
I sell skin bleaching cream. Pretty controversial, I know. But I do have negative comments, people saying you hate yourself, you wish you were white, but I don't really listen to it. I really don't care. I guess how society sees dark women, we're basically the losing team. Who wants to be on the losing team?
You know, the goal is to end colorism, racism. I feel like you changing your skin tone is just feeding into the cycle. And also, I think making money off of that is very kind of shady.
And some people just personally feel like they look better lighter, just like some people feel like they look better with makeup on.
I also don't think we can just ignore that there's such a terrible history of racism and colorism, and that's why it's a bigger deal to people when people are bleaching their skin versus when people are putting on makeup.
Skin lightening products can reinforce harmful beauty standards. They perpetuate the belief that lighter skin is somehow better, which can be especially damaging in communities of color, where colorism, the discrimination based on skin tone, is a serious issue. Take Nigeria, for example, where skin lightening is widely popular, driven by societal pressures and thoughts that lighter skin is more desirable. Parents often see it as a way to better opportunities for their children, but doctors are warning against using these products on kids, pointing to serious health risks like hormonal imbalances, weakened immune systems, and long-term damage. Children's thinner skin makes them even more vulnerable. Beyond physical harm, the psychological effects can be lasting. A 2023 study shows children exposed to skin bleaching are more likely to struggle with anxiety and body image issues later in life.
My youngest child was barely 2 years old when I started bleaching him, and the scars have started showing on his skin.
This Nigerian mother used skin lightening creams on all 6 of her children, which she says burnt their skin. We are concealing her identity for their privacy.
When my daughter was mistaken for a drug addict because of the bleaching, it made me extremely sad.
She says she did it because of pressure from her own mother.
When I visit my mother, she shows more love to her other light-skinned grandchildren. But when I got the bleaching cream and started using it on them, they became lighter, and then she started bringing them closer to her.
Her story is part of a growing trend in Africa, says medical aesthetician and campaigner Zainab Bashiriau.
So a lot of people link light skin to beauty or wealth. Women tend to shield, as they call it, shield their children from that discrimination by bleaching them from childbirth. Some of these women even go to the extent of taking injections while they are pregnant, just so they can give birth to lighter skinned children.
Long-term use of skin lightening products can have serious consequences.
They can have severe rashes all over their bodies. We've also had cases of, first-degree burn. It can also affect their kidney, which we call the nephrotic syndrome.
In February 2025, the New York City Department of Health issued a major warning about mercury levels in some over-the-counter skin lightening creams. Tests revealed mercury levels in 22 products to be up to 30,000 times the legal limit. These creams, marketed to lighten skin, treat acne, or reduce wrinkles, can be seriously harmful. Mercury seeps into your skin, lingers in the air, and even transfers to your clothes and bedding, putting you at risk of long-term health problems like rashes, memory loss, tremors, and kidney damage. However, mercury is just one of the harmful ingredients.
Too many people are using skin bleaching inappropriately with ingredients that are unregulated and containing really dangerous ingredients in these formulations. There is no health benefit to skin bleaching at all. There is nothing to gain health-wise from bleaching your skin. Remember, the 3 big ingredients that you're trying to avoid, if at all possible, especially if it is not prescribed, is hydroquinone, steroids, and also, of course, mercury. And again, mercury is not an ingredient that is allowed in the United States in skin lightening products. However, many of these products that are sold on the shelf at your local beauty shop may contain mercury because these products are not manufactured in the United States. As a society, we really need to start promoting natural beauty. Simply banning bleaching creams is not going to get rid of the problem. We need to start accepting dark-skinned people, accepting dark-skinned women, not just accepting them, but also celebrating them, and also not discriminating dark-skinned people. Because unless we stop doing that, the use of bleaching creams is going to continue. People are going to continue to believe that dark skin is inferior and that they need to lighten their skin.
The beauty industry isn't exactly making it easy to avoid these harmful chemicals.
According to a 2025 article in Journée Mondiale, many brands are sneaking skin whitening agents into products under natural-sounding names to make them more appealing. Ingredients like bearberry-derived arbutin or kojic acid from fungi might seem harmless, but they work similarly to hydroquinone, a regulated chemical. Even tranexamic acid, originally developed to control bleeding, is now being marketed as a natural solution for hyperpigmentation. This kind of deceptive branding has left consumers in the dark, highlighting just how important it is to demand better ingredient transparency and stay informed. At the end of the day, skin bleaching isn't just about personal choice. It's about the bigger issues of health, societal expectations, and the beauty industry's role in all of it.
Hey, I'm Kirsten from Switzerland.
This is Wayne from Tucson.
Hi, my name is Desmond from Ghana.
I am Claudia from Dawsonville, Georgia.
I'm Mikey from Pretoria, South Africa.
Hi, I'm Steve McGrath, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada.
People from all around the world are coming together.
Happy day, beautiful world. We are here in a rather small urban garden, and this video is just to show you the joys that we've had in this garden with the electro gardening.
When news happens in their area, they show us what's really going on.
We have people in the streets protesting for and against.
At United Network News, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Field Messenger Helen reporting with Nature, and I'm going to talk to you about the bees again.
Take the next step in restoring our planet. Become a UNN Field Messenger today.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from South Africa. If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.
If you've ever driven through South Australia's farming regions, you know how much pride and pressure goes into keeping those paddocks running. But right now, many of those fields are bare, and farmers are facing a serious problem. There's simply not enough hay to go around. And without hay, feeding livestock becomes a daily battle. It's not just a tough season. It's a full-blown crisis. This hay shortage didn't come out of nowhere. It's the result of ongoing drought conditions that have left much of the land dry and unproductive. Even in places where the grass looks green, farmers are dealing with what's called a green drought, where everything looks fine from a distance, but there's barely any real growth happening. That means animals can't graze like they normally would, and farmers are scrambling to buy feed just to keep them going.
Days out from winter, it doesn't get any tougher than this. Farmers feeding out hay day in, day out in bone-dry paddocks simply to keep livestock alive.
Yeah, it would be about $8,000 a week going into our livestock.
The small reserves in farmers' hay sheds is all that's left in SA.
I looked on the internet, I've looked everywhere where we did last year, and there's just no hay in anywhere close.
To be short, there is no hay in South Australia available.
Truckloads mostly only available from New South Wales, Queensland, even WA.
Watching it progressively get dearer as every week goes by.
While tough on the bottom line, it's even tougher on the mental health of these farmers.
Men are probably hopeless at talking and they've got issues or whatever. We go home, we leave it in the ute, we get up next morning, we do it again.
Farmers are coping through grit and heartbreak. Some are hand-feeding their livestock every day. Others are selling off animals because they simply can't afford to keep them. In the worst cases, some have had to make the painful decision to put animals down. And it's not just the financial toll that's wearing people down. The emotional weight of all of this is huge. Many farmers say they're exhausted, stressed, and unsure how much longer they can keep going like this. According to the June 2025 report from the Australian Fodder Industry Association, cereal hay is now going for around $500 Australian a ton,
up more than 50% from last year. Some producers are buying in smaller amounts, and they say they're paying up to $300 per bale, with monthly feed bills climbing to $9,000 or more. It's a huge financial hit that many simply can't keep up with. The Australian government is pitching in to help communities hit hard by drought with a few key programs under the Future Drought Fund. One big one is the Communities Program, which just got an extra 36 million Australian dollars over 4 years to support local projects and help build resilience on the ground. They're also putting $67 million into the Regional Drought Resilience Planning Program, which helps regions come up with tailored plans to better handle whatever droughts the future might bring. Still, many farmers and communities say more support is needed to weather these ongoing challenges.
The government has just announced another $36 million drought relief. I don't personally think it's enough. $36 million between South Australia and Victoria is like an ice block in a cup of hot tea. It goes nowhere. The government can, give Whyalla Steelworks $2.4 billion, but there's 12,000 farmers in South Australia. That's a big number, a lot more than Whyalla Steelworks. No, I'm not even talking about Victoria yet.
Across the border, the sentiment is similar.
The government employees seem to think that let's just hope it rains, and it's almost like they want it to go away so that they don't have to do the work.
Bernie Free is the president of the United Dairy Farmers of Victoria. His family's been working the land for 2 generations.
When I talk to dairy farmers, there is anger out there, there's frustration, and there's really despair in some of them because they don't see the government stepping up and they don't have any answers to their problem of feeding their animals.
Interstate hay charities are playing a crucial role in supporting drought-stricken farmers across Australia by organizing hay convoys and providing essential relief. These grassroots initiatives are mobilizing communities to deliver much-needed fodder to regions facing severe feed shortages. One notable example is Aussie Hay Runners, a volunteer-driven organization that not only delivers hay, but also offers emotional support to farmers, reminding them they are not alone in their struggles.
Behind me, you can see a portion of a 33-truck convoy being unloaded. This is hay that's being delivered courtesy of Aussie Hay Runners. It's valued at about $180,000, but to the drought-stricken farmers here at Sedan, it's priceless. Volunteers with Aussie Hay Runners, they source donated hay, they volunteer their trucks, they volunteer their time, they even put their own fuel. What I'm calling for is for the South Australian State Government to provide a subsidy to organisations like Aussie Hay Runners, a subsidy for the fuel they need to get hay to drought-stricken farmers in South Australia. Now, if it's good enough to put on footy festivals, if it's good enough to run golf tournaments, if it's good enough to organise car races and pop concerts, it's got to be good enough to get subsidised fuel to organisations like Aussie Hay Runners so we can see more efforts like the ones I've been involved in today, bringing hay to support drought-stricken farmers.
If the hay shortage in South Australia isn't resolved soon, the consequences could be severe and far-reaching. This not only affects the livelihoods of farmers and their families, but also disrupts the local agricultural economy. Prolonged feed shortages could lead to reduced meat and dairy production, driving up prices for consumers and putting additional strain on food supply chains.
UNN Field Messenger Wayne shares a new project that grows hemp with advanced water technology. He talks with Eduardo, the farm's foreman, and shows us the ranch's massive potential for growth.
Hello everyone, this is Field Messenger Wayne. Today I am coming to you from a field in Guaymas, Sonora, Mexico. And I am with the foreman on the farm. His name is Eduardo, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing here with structured water and hemp. Señor Eduardo.
Dígame.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Qué nos puede decir usted de lo que venimos a hacer aquí nosotros?
Bueno, estamos instalando el aparato en el agua para mejorar el agua y tengo muchas expectativas para ver para que funcione esto mejor.
Que nos va a rendir, ¿no?, la bondad y el beneficio de Dios a la tierra, ¿no? Y al agua.
Sí, y al agua. El beneficio de Dios en el agua para que la tierra dé más producto.
Ok. Y siempre y cuando mañana Dios quiera, nos va a dar firma al permiso.
Ok. Y estamos haciendo todos los trámites y que con el favor de Dios nos van a dar el permiso para sembrar el cáñamo, ¿no? Que tenemos un pequeño problema aquí, pero con el favor de Dios todo se va a solucionar para tener una siembra de cáñamo aquí
como
prueba y poder empezar a producir todos los productos que vienen de esa planta.
Muy bien, te agradezco mucho tu tiempo. Voy a agarrar poco de todo lo que tienes de la tierra para que la gente vea cómo está, ¿va?
Ok.
A la otra volvemos a hablar. Por decir, en cuanto vamos a sembrar, vamos a hacer otra entrevista de usted y yo.
Ándale pues. Muy bien.
Muy bien. There's the structured water device working. And putting the structured water into this retaining pond, which then gets sucked out of the other pipes right there. The disease comes and distributes all the fields through this apparatus. Here's just one end of the ranch. It goes way over there. This section is not contracted right now, but we can get it. Down there in the distance is a peach orchard that is part of it. This is our starting point. This is Field Messenger Wayne, and this is all for today. We will have an update soon.
Pickleball is a paddle sport that combines badminton, ping pong, and tennis. Its popularity is growing quickly in the US and worldwide. UNN Field Messenger Candace highlights this enjoyable, social way to stay active.
This is Candace with United Network News, Field Messenger Report from Carthage, Missouri. Here we are in Carthage, Missouri at the Pickleball site. What is your name and what are you doing here?
Bonnie Q. I'm playing pickleball with a bunch of nice people.
That's great. How long have you been playing?
Probably about 5 years.
And have you played outside of Carthage?
Oh, yeah. A lot of tournaments we travel for. And
where are you going to overseas?
We're going to Bhutan. Never been there, so it'll be interesting. Long flight, I hear. We're going over there to ref some games with some new players.
Well, that just sounds wonderful. Well, thanks for helping seniors and everybody get more exercise.
Yeah, we love it. It's good. It gets everybody out of the house.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bonnie.
Okay, thank you, love.
As a senior citizen, I really enjoy pickleball. In America, people 65 and over have free membership to all YMCAs in the country. And most of them have set up pickleball courts. The game can be played outside. The ball is slightly heavier when you go to a park or have an outdoor court. So in the scoring, 11 points is a game. And so the server, who always needs to serve underhanded and not overhanded, and serves it diagonally across the low net, calls out the score. But anyway, then you walk up to the net and you touch the 4 rackets together and say thank you for a good game. So that's pickleball, and we're happy that it's spreading all around the globe.
UNN is changing the face of news. Join us for our weekly Field Messenger meetings and learn how you can make a difference. Visit unitednetwork.earth for more information. Thanks for watching.